I did the thing that I told myself I shouldn't ever do, and I went browsing at Home Sense, Winners, Marshalls, that kind of vibe. Found myself at Marshalls the other day, and I found the cutest holiday stuff. Get ready. Up first, what could it be? Can you guess? It is a Christmas tree shaped dish. Perfect, I think, for like little candies to have out on my counter, and handcrafted in the homeland. Had to. I just thought this was adorable. Like neutral, but you still get that little pop of color to make it festive. I love the shape, very whimsical. And I always love an excuse to have little nibblies out for when people are by. So there's my excuse. $7.99, which I feel like it was fair price for that. Now this was also $7.99. You know I shouldn't be doing it. I know we've got a little bit of a mug problem here, but like, was I gonna say no to this guy? Was I supposed to say no to him? Would you have said no to him? I don't think so. Too cute. I have no words. I haven't decided yet though if I'm gonna use him as an actual mug or if I'm gonna use him to store my stationery on my desk, because I don't really do anything Christmas related in my office. I never have. I just like to keep that space kind of, you know, holiday free so that it doesn't overwhelm me. I feel like the holiday decor can sometimes like just invade. So that's my safe place, but this would be like very subtle if subtle was a very holiday-esque mug. A perfect pairing, if I do say so myself. Those were wrapped in paper, and it's that time of year where I will save paper that I get from things I buy in store, because why buy paper for wrapping delicates or fragile items when it's been given to me? I'm just gonna try and fold it up as nicely as I can, but there's really no reason why they can't be reused. I'm doing the same thing with any packages I get too. Packages can be really great boxes for wrapping gifts rather than specifically going out to buy those things. I mean, sometimes I end up having to, especially if I'm doing a lot of clothes. If I can give a second life to a box that's come into my life, I'll do it. No problem. There you go. I'm just gonna put this in my little gift wrapping storage station. I usually have like a box that's accumulating even like little ribbons that I find or little tags, whatever. The other thing I got isn't decor related. These aren't all for me, but some of them admittedly are for me. Look at that. Gorgeous. These are puzzles, and I've talked about these ones before because they're by the brand Hobry. Now Indigo has exclusive designs with Hobry, so there are some holiday ones this year that I've had my eye on that are gorgeous, that are exclusive, like I said, to Indigo. But those are 20 bucks, which I think is a fair price for a puzzle. But these ones are $14.99 each, which is an even better price for a puzzle. And I love these puzzles because the designs just are so, I don't know, pleasing to me. And it's got that matte finish that is really great to touch. The puzzle itself is beautiful to touch. And the sides look like a book. So I've talked about them before, but I love the fact that you can display this on a bookshelf and it doesn't like scream puzzle, puzzle, puzzle. Because puzzles, as great as they are, can definitely take up space in your home. So I like that kind of dual purposeness. So this is 'Tis the Season, Winter Wonderland, which is one of my favorites. This vibe is actually very close to the Kindle decor that I'm working on for the holidays. Deck the Halls, love, love, love. And then this one is Penguin Peak, just a ton of animals skiing, snowboarding, doing the winter thing. I feel like this one is one that will bleed really well into January. These tend to lean more Christmas, but this is another January friendly one. But I love these as gifts and as gifts for myself. When it's cold in Toronto, you just want to do something really calming and something indoor friendly. And a puzzle is a great way to go. A 500-piece puzzle is the way to go. I was actually talking to the employee when she was checking me out with these, and she's like, oh, I bought a 1,000-piece puzzle last year and I never completed it. And I'm like, yeah, girl, 500 is the magic sauce, because 500 isn't going to make you lose your mind when the puzzle is out for a couple days. Like this is very doable to do. I mean, if you're really ambitious in a night, but 2 nights, it's done. A 1,000-piece puzzle, depending on the difficulty, you could be locked in for a little bit. I just love holiday season and this time of year. There's something innately comforting about it. I know it's a complicated year sometimes for people and can bring up a lot. There's a lot of expectations for this time of year too, that I think if you're going into it wanting it to be this magical Hallmark-esque thing, it's hard to live up to that. But if you kind of are going into the season just determined to indulge in some festive activities, eat some festive foods, like spend some time with people that you love, like what more can you ask for, right? Now I've reached the point where I realize I have to put all this away. So I'm gonna do that. Thank you for watching my little haul. For the past couple of years now, I've been using craft paper to wrap presents. Last year I took it a step further though and actually painted patterns on my craft paper to make some custom wrapping paper. I am tempted to do more this year with some fresh designs, so I'm gonna do that today. I don't mind the look of plain craft paper. It's super convenient, recyclable, but sometimes you just want to spice it up or have a few gifts with patterns so that under the tree it looks a little extra fun. So when I am gonna do a pattern like this where paint is involved, I usually like to prep this in advance and then have like a gift wrapping session where all this is already done, so I'm not doing it all at the same time because that would be overwhelming. But this just becomes like a fun little DIY activity to do. So I'm gonna roll this out and get going. I'm using some green acrylic here and I'm gonna do trees. Now trees are quite easy to do because as you can see it's just strokes downwards. I usually like to do 3 tiers of strokes with my trees. And you don't want too much paint on your brush because you want to have like these streaks. At least that's my goal. I'm gonna do another one like that. Because I'm making so many of these, I want it to be a pattern that's pretty forgiving, so this feels right. If you didn't want to paint as much either, you could just make sure that you don't space the trees too close together. Waited about 15 minutes. The trees are now dry enough for me to continue. I'm gonna take my white Posca marker and add just some details to the tree, like stars, some dots. Everyone can be a little bit different just to make it creative. This is what it looks like with all the detailing done. All of the trees look just slightly different for the most part. And now I just need to wait for this to dry. But gorgeous, I love this one. Result of that, it just looks so cute. Gives it a little handmade touch. I had a few scraps to also do a smaller gift, but I essentially just need to make a couple sheets of that to sprinkle into my gift wrapping this year. Maybe you don't want to go to that full extent and make a pattern with paint, but you still want to add a little festive touch to some craft paper wrapping paper. I've got an idea in my head for this, so hopefully it turns out, but let's try it out. It baffles me all the time how much use I get out of these white paint markers. I bought a set off of Amazon and I think it's one of the best purchases I ever made because you see me use it time and time again in my DIY projects, including this custom wrapping paper that you just essentially write the recipient's name all over the gift in different fonts, handwriting. Such a simple idea that really adds a magical touch to the craft paper look. I truly cannot be stopped with the DIYs this year, so I assume you had to see some holiday cards coming. But these holiday cards are a little bit different than what I've done before because I am making them out of watercolor paper, and then I'm using watercolors to add little pops of color. The designs are pretty minimal and easy to duplicate. Like I think this string of lights is really easy to do on your own, and this candy cane design is nothing, you know, revolutionary, special. It doesn't require a high level of talent to doodle these, but coloring them in with the watercolor paints just brings them to life. And what's great about using watercolor for this is that if it seeps outside the lines like mine do at times in these cards, it just looks really intentional. Like that's how watercolor is supposed to be. So I love these. One of the activities that I had wanted to try in the fall was to make focaccia bread for the first time. And not only did I did that, but I also did some focaccia art with olives that then became spiders, or so I thought. There's a little bit of drama in the comment section of everywhere I posted that video because everyone reminded me that spiders have 8 legs, and apparently a lot of my olive spiders only had 6 legs, which shame on me. I'll say that I should have counted my spider legs. I think I was just going for visually what fit the spider, but no excuses, I'll do better. I made another round of focaccia. This time I did an overnight focaccia rise, so I'm really curious to see how the flavor develops with that. It actually felt easier than the same day focaccia bread that I did because that required so much stretching throughout the day, whereas this one I just kind of had to let do its thing overnight. This is where my focaccia dough is at after doing another initial rise of about 2.5 hours in the morning when I took it out of the fridge. I'm gonna do the dimpling, and then yes, you guessed it, I've got some holiday art to do on this focaccia bread. This one I think will be without controversy, so we'll see. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on my hands so nothing sticks, and then we're gonna dimple. Those are some sexy bubbles. I like it. Then I need some generous flaky sea salt. And my goal here is to make a Christmas tree. So I think I'm gonna do a Christmas tree in the middle. Large one right here, baby one. I've also got some sage leaves I can use. And then I'm gonna add tomatoes. I think I'm gonna do them this side up. I feel like that looks like a Christmas tree, right? Definitely feel like the further back you look, it looks even better. But I don't know, I'm happy with that. Let's see if it holds up in the oven. Don't mind the packing happening here for my trip home. Today I'm going to be decorating my Kindle and Kobo for the holidays by creating a custom case. All throughout 2024 I've been designing cool cases for this, so if you follow me on social media, on Instagram particularly, or TikTok, I tend to post those there first. I've got some cute ideas, so let's get to it. I've got this beautiful paper that I want to use as a background for this design, and honestly I usually adhere the background piece of paper with masking tape. This is the first design. It's very inspired by Santa's naughty or nice list, but this is instead a Christmas reading list. So all the books listed here are holiday themed. And I just love that I use that background paper because it just gives it like this almost wrapping paper look. Very festive. And here you go. Here's another little design for you using my Kobo. This one is more of a gift wrap ribbon situation. I love the fact that I got to use an actual gift tag in my gift tag collection this year. I'm so glad I embraced so much DIYs this year. It's really been a healing part of this holiday season for me, and I hope you guys have enjoyed following along with all the fun. I'll see you guys next week, and until then, ciao.